On the show, what's your question or comment?
If I pay off my credit card debt in full versus settling the debt in part, will either one of those things make my credit rate better, my credit rating better?
Okay. How's your credit today? Do you know?
Terrible.
Terrible. Okay.
Because I owe money on my credit cards, and the credit card companies have offered to settle the debt for much less than is owed. But I'm wondering, if I pay off my debt in full, will that restore my credit?
That's a great question. Settlement is something that's become very popular here in the last couple of years. One of the things I warn about is don't ever go with a settlement company in order to do a debt settlement. I've never found any, and I've been in banking for over 20 years, credit counseling for 15 years, and I've never seen a settlement company that I would consider legitimate. Now, going direct to the creditors and accepting settlement offers, that's something which can be a good move for some people. Now, what will happen with that, though? Most of the time, the creditors are required to send you a 1099, and that means you got a $5,000 credit card. You pay it, you settle it for $2,500. They're going to send you a 1099 for $2,500 at the end of the year, which means that's now taxable income for you. So,
whoa.
Yeah.
Well, how about the piece as far as when I want to restore my credit? Will somebody say, a credit card company say, okay, this guy eventually paid off all of his credit card debt in full, so we're going to rate him as a better candidate? Do you know what I'm saying?
Sure. What will happen is if you do settle it, it'll show up on your credit report, paid, settled, something like that, to say paid for less than full balance, but that they were in agreement and they accepted it as payment in full. But it will still show that it's settled. One of the big questions is whether or not the cards are currently charged off or if they're just delinquent. If they're
charged off.
Okay, they're charged off, then then you have to start weighing and balancing how much of a savings is there going to be. So the more savings you're talking about, now the better it can be to go ahead and settle, because then you can take that money that you saved and start using it to rebuild your credit. There's things you can do. A lot of banks and credit unions have credit builder programs where you can either get a secured credit card that'll start to improve your credit, or you can even get a loan, and they'll open a certificate deposit for you, and you make monthly installment payments on that loan. Those are some things that'll start to rebuild your credit. But if your accounts are charged off, and if the savings is substantial, and you go direct to do settlements through them, and you understand that there's going to be a tax implication, then I think settlement can be a good idea. I'd recommend, though, that you get a copy of your credit report. If you call our office, one of our counselors can pull the credit report for you and kind of discuss specifically, the pros and cons. But the worse your credit is, if they're all charged off and there's going to be big savings, that's the time that settlement does become something to consider. A lot of people, though, they're current or they're a little bit 2-3 months past due on their credit cards, then settlement is almost always a bad idea.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for the call. And for both either the caller or anyone else who wants to talk to one of our certified credit counselors, there's the number. We can reach them right now. As I said, we've also